Do you know what distinguishes honorable men from forgotten ones? It's not money, nor looks, nor beauty, but presence. A true man doesn't pursue anything because he understands the universal truth. His true will doesn't demand that he beg, plead, or humiliate himself. When a woman belittles him, plays with him, and chooses a different path, he doesn't fight for her attention. He simply disappears. And in that silence, in that very silence, his power speaks louder than any words he utters. The woman he pursues becomes predictable, important, and replaceable. The woman he loses becomes unforgettable. Why? Because absence allows for acceptance. Losing him forces her to confront reality. He was her prize, and she lost him. A man never fears leaving because his worth isn't defined by his identity, but by his character. When a man chooses to disappear instead of pursuing, he isn't running from love. He possesses unwavering composure thanks to his self-respect. Defeat is not a punishment, nor a game, nor an attempt to deceive anyone. It is a calm and resolute decision that one's honor is more important than the fleeting admiration of someone who doesn't understand its value. The man who pursues others, whether he realizes it or not, demonstrates a willingness to sacrifice his power, pride, and identity to protect someone who is beginning to show signs of leaving. The lost man, however, sends the opposite message. I know my worth and I will not diminish it for anyone. Honor is the foundation of masculine strength. One may lose money and then recover it, and may miss opportunities and then create others. But when one loses their dignity through begging, pleading, or following those who despise them, they lose the very essence of their being. This loss is not easily compensated because the world only sees those who have surrendered their dignity. Men know this truth well, and that's why they choose destruction. Running away isn't weakness, it's pure strength. Think about it. When you run away, you put yourself in an unbalanced position, as if to say that your well-being is more important than your dignity. And when you give someone else that power over you, you lose control of your life. You become subservient to their jokes, their games, and their decisions. But the lost one gives himself control. He controls his own story, not someone else's. His lostness says, I am not afraid of loneliness. I am not afraid of silence. And I am certainly not afraid of losing someone I don't know. Loss is the language of power, the language of restraint, and the language that distinguishes the emotionally balanced man from the emotionally dependent one. Women have a deep respect for the man willing to compromise his dignity. They can test him and even push him away. But instead of chasing after them when they're gone, remember that they're not ordinary. They're not hopeless. They're irreplaceable. They're different. And that difference is what makes them unforgettable. This doesn't mean you don't care about preserving your dignity in the face of loss. It means you value yourself enough never to doubt your worth. This means you understand that love should be freely given, not demanded. It means you understand that a relationship should flow naturally, not be forced. In silence, you protect your crown. And when it's lost, you protect your soul. Most importantly, this is what preserves a man's true masculinity. Silence is one of the most misunderstood powers a man can possess. Many people associate silence with weakness, apathy, or having nothing to say. But the truth is, silence in a man's hands is not a void. It's a strategy, a presence, and a powerful magnet. When a man chooses silence instead of pursuing, arguing, or offering numerous arguments, he completely alters the dynamics of the relationship. He no longer follows other people's rules. His voice is heard because he refuses to be swept along by the noise. And this silence carries more weight than any words. Think about it. When you compete, you are constantly justifying yourself, trying to prove your worth, constantly demonstrating why you deserve to be chosen. But when you accept silence, you stop feeding the situation. You stop pumping energy into what's draining you. You create a void, and awareness begins in that void. People only realize the value of something when it's out of reach. When the presence they took for granted is replaced by audible silence, that silence becomes more powerful than any argument that might be made. The other person might be a mirror, forcing one to confront their choices. Silence has a special allure because it evokes mystery, making people wonder what they are thinking, what they are doing, and why they aren't responding as expected. In a world where most men strive to attract attention, the man who chooses silence stands out. He is unpredictable. He cannot control himself. He cannot evade challenges. This very contradiction is what gives him his strength. He commands attention even in his absence. His silence speaks volumes about his discipline, self-control, and a power that needs no display. Silence is not merely the absence of words. It is a testament to the power he possesses. A man who loves the sea. His silence has an undeniable aura. When he walks quietly and without fanfare, when he chooses not to respond to plots, when he simply disappears rather than be followed, he creates a captivating magnetism. People are drawn to him not because he tries to win them over, but because his silence compels them to feel his absence. That absence is more painful than any words. Women in particular feel the impact of men's silence. Words can be argued, excuses ignored, and arguments twisted, but silence is not to be argued with, nor can it be ignored. It echoes, it reverberates in her mind, bringing back memories of everything she has done and said. Because now there is no justification for her actions. Silence allows her to confront herself, and this confrontation is more powerful than any effort or hope. Those who know the power of silence do not fear losing anyone, are not shocked when someone backs down, and do not fail in the face of challenges. He understands that in his silence he attains the highest rank. He knows that by not responding, by not expending his energy, his value increases. And the greater his value, the more compelling his presence becomes. Therefore, silence is not emptiness, but a skill, an art that makes your absence speak louder than your presence. It is the weapon of the strong, the shield of the wise, and the crown of manhood. A man does not reveal himself to those who do not see his life. He does not lower his crown begging for acceptance or selection. His silence, his seclusion, his unwillingness to follow are not signs of weakness, but pure reflections of strength. Because the essence of manhood is profound knowledge. No one should be forced to do what is right. What is asked of you to relinquish your dignity was never meant for you in the first place. Chasing after others is noise, destruction is power, and silence is an echo that reminds you who you were from the beginning. It leaves a mark that words cannot erase, no argument can erase, and no other man can replicate. A man doesn't demand respect from another man. He demonstrates it. He doesn't chase after what slips away. He lets go, trusting that life will bring it back to him. Ultimately, this is the absolute truth. He who chases something loses himself. He who is lost finds himself. And when a man finds himself, no one can take that strength away from him.